This is Bord Bia quality assured pig. And just let me show you the different cuts of meat. We're going to start with the head, followed by the shoulder, and then we've got a lovely loin, which is this section here, and then we've got the belly, and then finally we've got the leg. This is the way it comes. The head comes separately. So I'm just going to put that to one side, and now I'm just going to take off the shoulder. So I'm going to use a knife, and I'm just going to cut straight down there, and when I get to the bone, I'll use the saw. Okay, you can see here, this is the top of the shoulder, and this is the bone that we cut through, some of the top of the rib bones in that, and part of the chuck. The next section is the loin, and I just want to take this off from the leg. We just flip it over, have a look at the anatomy of the animal. We're going to take off this fillet. This is the least used muscle in the whole animal. Before you go near the meat, always kind of feel where you're going first. So the fillet comes off very easy, just like that. I'm just going to take off the leg. By doing this, I'm just going to go through the H joint here. And this is where the difference comes between a chef and a butcher. Normally a butcher will go through here and he'll cut that with a saw. I'm not going to use a saw here at all. I'm going to come around the H joint, just like that. And you can see I'm using my fingers all the time, just seeing where the meat is. By doing this, I'm just left with the complete muscle. I've just exposed the ball and socket joint here. This is what attaches the leg. And I'm just going to open up the muscle here, just like this. And I'm just following the sinews, really. Just getting off the top of this. And it's important just to work both sides. So I'm just going to cut here. So this should just pull off very easily, just like this. You're left with bones here, and you're left with the last bit of the tail section. A lot of chefs discard pork bones, but when you have a whole carcass like this, you use every bit of it. And the bone is so important. There's a lovely sweet stock that can come from this. So we've got the lovely loin section here, and you square it right off down along here. And how I do it is I make a little nick there and a nick right here. You just follow that line right down. So we've got a lovely rectangle belly. And what I've cut through there, just these lovely rib bones, which can be cured and used for spare ribs. And there we have it. That's the 5 pieces broken down. We've got the head, the shoulder, the loin, the belly, the leg. With the head section, we've got the lovely cheek here, which is a very popular piece of meat at the moment. Then we've got the shoulder joints. The cru bean, we'll start with the cru bean. You could bone this out and stuff it, or just boil it. Then we move on to the loin. We can take this loin off the bone, and then we have the chuck bones here. We've got the spare ribs here, with a lovely piece of bone along it. Moving on to the belly. Again, we've got the lovely ribs as well. And if you're going to cure this, you can turn it into streaky rashers. And then we go down to the leg. This would be mainly cured for ham. And it's just, again, a beautiful piece of meat. People are much more interested in the source of their food, and they want to know where the meat comes from. And by buying Bord Bia quality approved pork and bacon, you can assure your customers exactly where that food and that meat comes from.